If even half of it is true, then he's toast. I mean, it's a very detailed indictment, and it's very, very damning. And this idea of presenting Trump as a victim here, a victim of a witch hunt, is ridiculous. Yes, he's been a victim in the past. Yes, his adversaries have obsessively pursued him with phony claims, and I've been at his side defending against them when he is a victim. But this is much different. He's not a victim here.
So that is, of course, Bill Barr. Remember, the guy who the week before the Mueller report came out with a pre-report riddled with lies and mischaracterizations that defenders of Trump ran with for days, admitting that this is not looking good for Trump because, and I checked this, it's not looking good for Trump. He's just admitting what is abundantly clear while also continuing in that interview to defend Donald Trump on many of the other investigations. But he admitted the truth, and for that he must be destroyed. So Donald Trump, who spent the weekend talking with Roger Stone, and I would just say, if you even arguably have a limited number of weekends as a free man, don't waste any of them on Roger Stone. That would just be my advice, bud to bud. But anyway, here is a little bit of Trump's commentary on Barr.
The losses, and this is a disgrace. This thing is a disgrace, and virtually everybody other than a lowlife like Bill Barr, who as you know, I terminated because he was gutless. He wouldn't do what you're supposed to do. But everybody says this is a disgraceful indictment. It shouldn't happen. It was done for political reasons.
Yeah, not everybody's saying that. Let's just be clear about that. Also, I love the Freudian slip of a low life like Bill Maher. I get it, Trump. I get how you could fall into that. But also, he's facing indictments for the classified documents thing, election-related indictments to come potentially in August. And there he says, I fired him because he was gutless. He wouldn't do what he had to do. Like, maybe it's not clear what that is. He means that he wouldn't overturn the results of the election. Like, that is what he's saying. I fired this guy because he wouldn't break the law for me. Again, amazing what he admits to casually. But he goes on to say, I think he's a coward who didn't do his job. And now he goes and he sits down if they can find a chair for him because it's not that easy. And he sits down, because again, he's still on the fat shaming everyone.
Oh God.
He's never seen himself. And he sits down and he bloviates and it's disgraceful. It's actually unpatriotic. It's so bad for our country, just so bad. But you know, he got a lot of hatred.
Just another lawyer that wouldn't crime for you after criming for you for a very long time, and it was like, I draw the line at this one thing. I would do anything for Trump, but I won't do that. They basically meatloafed it like every single other lawyer, and then they jumped ship and then they wrote a book. The real thing I want to ask Bill Barr is, quick follow-up, but if he were the Republican nominee, would you vote for him?
Yeah,
I have to because the woke left. You're like, yeah, he'd totally still vote for him even if he was behind bars.
Yeah, I mean that is effectively what Pence said just a few days ago. He's terrible, disqualifying and all that, but yeah, no, I would totally fall in line. Yeah, wonderful. Anyway, let's get just a little bit more of Barr. Remember, Barr did spend years around Donald Trump, and he is technically a person who knows the law. Here are his extended thoughts.
He was totally wrong that he had the right to have those documents. Those documents are among the most sensitive secrets that the country has. They have to be in the custody of the archivist. He had no right to maintain them and retain them. And he kept them in a way at Mar-a-Lago that anyone who really cares about national security, their stomach would churn at it.
And the interesting thing about that, I think, from the point of view of a Donald Trump evaluating how much disloyalty Barr is showing, is nothing that Barr said there is new, is an interesting take or spin. It is all the most obvious interpretations of the evidence that has been presented to us. But because he dwells in the safest of spaces in his right-wing media bubble, just revealing that, like, no, this actually looks really bad. You were super clear about the obstruction. There are contemporaneous notes. You're literally on tape. This is about as, like bow tied and handed to the prosecutor's case as you can imagine. To admit that is treason, effectively.
No, of course, yeah. No, just final thoughts is that, yeah, they were he wanted all the coolest documents, i.e. the most sensitive, the most related to military, like invasions, weaponry, contingency plans, nuclear armament, like he wanted the cool ones, i.e. the scariest ones for someone like Donald Trump to possess.
For more political news, breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.